ChairShot Podcast coming to you on a Sunday evening here as we bid farewell to the spooky season and we say hello to turkey season, y'all. Oh, get that day on the TV, woman. Where's my pumpkin pie?
Damn it, Bobby. They're podcasting in November again.
I don't think we have any. It's pretty much just Thanksgiving. I think there's any European equivalents. It's Poppy month in the UK, isn't it, Joe? You got Poppy. Joe does not have a Poppy. Let me just call him out right now here on air. Joe does not have a Poppy on this podcast.
He's lying. This is propaganda.
I'm yanking his shade. His face, like he's got like one of those Zoom filters on. He is just a big Poppy, right?
Her face is completely blacked over. Oh shit! Wait,
No, we're Poppy. That me and Paul aren't, but Joe is. It is November. The Samhain festivities are concluded, and we are rolling on to a fresh season. We got a loaded show here, gents. We got a lot of stuff here on the rundown. We start with how were the Halloweens? Were they all good? Did you have fun? Did you stay in? Did you draw the curtains?
Stayed in. I did go and sort of last minute get some stuff because our neighbours do an effort. They do an effort. They make an effort. So I went out for a walk at like 1 o'clock, and suddenly I look at our shared driveway, and there's like those solar lights you can sort of put in the garden. They put them all the way up, but with like little ghost sheets over them.
Oh, that's good.
It was really good, and then balloons and stuff. So I was like, fuck, we got to do something. So I kind of rushed to Sainsbury's. I got to Sainsbury's about 2 o'clock on Halloween. Only to find the staff basically furiously ripping out all the Halloween stuff. Like, quick, fucking get rid of that shit. Get the Christmas shit in quick. There was bugger all left apart from a stand of like small pumpkins. Like none of the sweets were left. Like there were no like of the big packs of Haribo and all that. I managed to find a bucket of Haribo that someone had dumped in the middle of a shelf. That he'd obviously like gone, oh, we're not going to bother with that. So I was like, oh, I'll have that. So I managed to get this one final bucket of Haribo. And luckily that was just enough. We had 5 sets of trick or treaters. Yeah, they were all very sweet, little kids. They're very bold, these children these days, I'll be honest. When I was a lad, we were scared of adults. I feel like these kids, I open the door, they just start walking in. It's like, all right, what's going on here?
Having the ring doorbell, just having that.
Where's the vodka? Where's the snaps? Give some of that.
Oh,
one kid, he pulled the lid off my jack-o'-lantern and was trying to put his foot in it.
We've talked on this podcast about how brazen children have become. This new.
We
were they vlogging when they did it?
TikToking. Guys, come with me. Spend the day. Get ready with me to stomp on Mr. Towner.
Get on some twat's head. Some sweets.
Dear me.
Yeah, it was fun.
Dear me.
I had a similar experience to Joe. Not in that young vandals were attacking my property, but it was like 5 p.m. on Halloween, and I did have. Oh my god! I never went out to get the sweets for the kiddies, so I ran over to Aldi across the road, and similar, all the Halloween stock was vamooshed. So closest thing I could get was a Christmas tub of Cadbury's Heroes, I think.
Oh, yeah.
There. I can't remember Heroes Celebrations, whichever one Cadbury's do. So ran over, grabbed that, ran back, put my shark costume on, my very famous shark Halloween costume. Wore that for 2 hours. Not a single person came to the door. This being the first Halloween in the new spot, I don't know if that's something that's discouraged in this block. Trick-or-treating. There's definitely kids living here. I know for a fact there's kids living here. So I was ready, and none of them came. And so, then the sad eating of the leftover, which turned out to be all of the sweets, began. So yeah, very uneventful, unfortunately. I was really, really hoping that someone would come. I was ready in the costume.
He was ready.
Doing a little bit of stand-up comedy for them,
They'll be loving that. They'll be loving that. If they'd shown up, they'd be loving that. But
it's just to be. Wasn't to be.
Yeah, we got in 3 years in this place, we got our first trick or treaters this year, and it was one family. So we have had exactly one knock on the door. Again, we live very central, and I mean, it is like, I mean, the streets are like Gears of War in this city on Halloween, even when it's not on a Friday. We dropped. So we were hosting. We had people over. We had a costume party. It was a lovely night. We went to town. So we dropped the dog specifically down to my mam's so that the dog could have some company amidst all the fireworks, so she gets very rattled. My mom I grew up in an estate that was very much like Halloween is like the highlight of these people's year.
Yeah.
And my wife could not believe it. First of all, I said, you're going to have to drive me. I never asked that. I never ever asked that, but I could not walk this dog down through this area. It's just not happening. And then she saw why, because like it was the duality of man, because literally parents were walking their little like toddlers dressed as Princess Peach, and then on the other side of the street there are lads like shooting fireworks at each other, and just the absolute insanity of that. So yeah, it's a funny old season. But yeah, we had a nice Halloween, and we finally got to hand out some Halloween chocolates to a little something from Minecraft. I don't know what it's called, and a little thing from Paw Patrol. I also don't know what it's called.
A dog, I think they're called.
A dog, yes, a dog police officer. But yeah, that was that Halloween was lovely. Halloween did extend a little bit into today for me as well. We did have there was a seasonal kind of speaking tour in a local museum, and basically it's a museum of local Limerick history, and so it's a tour around this old Georgian house that quite literally had the tiered system where we got to see the big high ceiling piano drawing room, and then we got to go into the servants' quarters, which had like a roof that was about 5 foot off the ground. I have a crick in my neck from being in there. So we got to see that, and then see like the coal bunker where like homeless families lived, you know, around the time of the famine and stuff like that. And then they also relayed like spooky stories that related to people who lived in the house. Have been through the city and all this other stuff. It was lovely. It was a lovely little thing from a local museum that I've actually never been to in all my years, and it was really living here, and it was really lovely. So thoroughly enjoyed that. So yeah, Halloween has been and gone. We've got some scary movies we'll talk about later though as well. So folks can wring a little bit of out of the season before they call it a day. Any other life golf bits and bobs before we jump into the wrestling news?
Yes. So other than the Halloween, of course, it is fireworks night this week. In the UK, which is other than the poppies, you know, this is the second sort of biggest celebration. Where we celebrate the old Parliament not getting blown up 500 years ago. I did see someone on Reddit ask, if someone who's new to the UK, is fireworks night celebrating that they tried to blow up Parliament or that they failed? And I was like, it's interesting. Our opinions change. That was 500 years. But it's good. It's kind of evolved. Like, you know, when I was growing up, it wasn't very traditional sort of bonfire night. You still had like what we call penny for the guy, where people would like, dress up like basically a what would you call it? Like a stuff like clothes full of paper or whatever, and then take that around and ask for like donations, and then that would end up going on the bonfire, and you'd have in your back garden or somewhere, or in that local like park. That doesn't really happen now, but that's died out. People aren't doing that anymore unless it's some random town kind of out in the middle of nowhere where they still sort of burn, you know, effigies of like Donald Trump on a bonfire and have sort of Wicker Man-esque marches. In London is pretty much just let's go and see a firework display and buy some overpriced street food. So that's what we did. It was absolutely mental. I think there was something like 40,000 people at our local display. DJs and everything that was going off, rides, all that. So yeah, I mean, firework displays are a weird one because it literally lasts for 20 minutes. Like the actual firework display is 20 minutes long. So you get there, fireworks are done, let's go home. But yeah, it was certainly fun. And it was a busy day yesterday because went to the cinema in the morning, fireworks in the evening, and then I stayed up till 4 a.m. watching the World Series Game 7 of America's baseball. I've never done this before.
Thank you for a baseball man.
No, I was kind of got into it because so Michelle's obviously from LA and a big Dodgers fan, and the Dodgers are in it. They were the defending world champions. They were playing the he was there, that lad, the Okada of baseball.
Yeah.
But they were playing the Toronto Blue Jays, and hettily, I decided that I really wanted the Canadian team to win. World Series. So I was suddenly invested in them in Toronto beating LA. So we watched, like, it started about midnight, so we watched a bit of it, and I was like, keep watching. And then once you get to a certain point, it's like, well, I want to watch all the way to I want to see the result now. So I ended up staying to the very end. Apparently it was one of the best sort of finals ever, which is probably why I enjoyed it, because normally I find baseball to be completely interminable. Sort of like an even more boring version of cricket, really.
Sure. But
it was good, and the Blue Jays lost, so I completely disappointed. This is why I should not support. This is like when I watched the hurling and I supported Cork. And they lost.
Well,
I shouldn't watch any sport.
No, but the fun of the game is in wanting a specific result, right?
Yes, and then never getting it.
And then never getting it. Speaking of a bit of football, I mean, we haven't talked about football for a while. Manchester United on a good little run, to the point that dropping points and a draw away at Nottingham Forest really was seen as a big disappointment. Where it's like, that would have been in their best 5 games of the season last year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's this lad who's growing his hair out and still United win 5 games. I think he's having a huge effect on the fan base. Like, everyone's judging it now as if we don't win 5 in a row, it's a disappointment.
I'm so sick of that guy, by the way.
No, but
I do not want to see him anymore.
Winning 5 in a row is actually, like, that doesn't happen a lot. I don't think
I was asking people about this on Twitch during the week. I was like, I don't know, I don't follow sport. Is that not really hard? I feel like that's not common anyway among the best teams in the world.
Like, I'm pretty sure someone said last season Liverpool didn't win 5 in a row in the league all season. Like, it is actually quite hard. Like, so 3 wins and a draw, that's good. Even if we draw against Spurs, I still think that's a very good run of results.
If with those fixtures we had, if you had said to me, we'll have 3 wins and a draw, I'd have snapped your hand off.
Yeah.
So, I was far from upset with yesterday's results. Granted, gave 2 smelly goals away within 30 seconds of each other at the start of the second half. Bad. But it's still a team coming together. There's still positives to be taken. Spurs next week, who are also going through a sort of mini crisis of their own. Look, it's not the end of the world. One thing I've been taking a lot of pleasure in, though, was Liverpool's freakishly bad, which also came to an end yesterday. Thanks, Villa, fucking it up for me. But Liverpool have been a really interesting case, given how easy they won the league last year. Obviously, you could downplay Slot's accomplishment and say they hadn't made any substantial transfers in the summer. He was basically playing with Klopp's team and Klopp's system, but still went down and won the league at the end of the day, This season, make a lot of changes. Doesn't seem to be working at all. Granted, they beat Villa finally. They still have a lot of good players at the end of the day, but I was thinking about why, before the Villa game, I was thinking about why Liverpool have had this kind of bad form. I was thinking less about the players coming in and not gelling, but more about what they don't have that they had last season. So obviously, for me, there's 2 factors. Trent Alexander-Arnold, a lot of was made about his defending skill or lack of, but he was like their quarterback, their playmaker. I mean, he was a certain price in the fantasy Premier League for a reason. The amount of assists and goals, to be honest, that he scored was, astronomical, especially at his peak. And playing right behind Mohamed Salah, he obviously had an impact on Salah's game as well. They haven't really replaced Trent. Obviously, they brought Connor Bradley, who has played the last couple of games. He's nowhere near the same player. And even Frimpong, who they brought in, they seem very reluctant to play him at right back at all. He's obviously, again, a very different type. He was also very prolific with his assists in Germany, but again, a very different kind of player. And the second factor for me, players like Darwin Nunez, Luis Diaz, who you wouldn't say maybe their best players, but were nevertheless like workhorses, right?
Yes.
Drifters in the good sense, not in the Stevie Richards and whatever way. Guys who go in and do the job. You bring in a Florian Wirtz and an Isak.
They're just
not exactly the same, you know?
They're flancing around going, oh, give me the ball. And
Exactly.
It's come on. Pull your finger out.
So that's what I was wondering, whether they would need to address those issues before things would really start to click, as opposed to the players they brought in not clicking immediately.
I think it's also, to some extent, we've just had this switch from, the last few years, everyone playing out from the back, playing a high line.
That's true as well.
Whole thing.
The style.
And this season it's just gone right back to throw-ins, long ball. And Liverpool are like, they can't cope with long balls over the top or set pieces. And so they're just like, and Villa yesterday didn't. They tried to.
That's maybe why they succeeded more.
Get it over the top. Get it over the top to the big man. That's what you need.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how they get on. Their next fixture is obviously Real Madrid and City, which will be interesting. City are having an interesting season as well, in that, they're a one-man team, essentially. Haaland, the top scorer in the league, I think has more than twice than second top scorer. So they're obviously up to second now. They're doing it very well. Wolves sacked their manager, Vitor Pereira, today after giving him a new contract like 4 weeks ago. Which is, again, a very strange one. I mean, I have to assume they're going to be relegated. I would like to see Gary O'Neill go back there. I thought, he did a very good job and then was kind of unceremoniously booted. Wouldn't mind seeing him get another crack at it. But, United Spurs next week. I think that'll be an interesting one, given, Thomas Frank came in with a lot of fanfare, and then we had, obviously, the Chelsea game at the weekend where his own players were kind of appeared to be shunning him as they're coming off the pitch. So I wonder if there's a little bit of
a
little bit of unhappiness going on there. But we'll see how United get on. Definitely, look, the Forest game I think was ultimately it, as well as the result. I think generally not the strongest performance since United started kind of turning it around. And Burma Cunha didn't have quite the impact that they have had, but. It's interesting because, I mean, it seems at the moment in the league, granted we're only in November, it seems with the exception of Arsenal, a win will bring a team like 7 or 8 places up or down the table. All the teams are still so closely packed together.
Points on it.
Very, very interesting. I think this has been one of the more interesting seasons for quite a while. And of course, Arsenal, who at the moment seem to be walking it, but... As you know, Arsenal don't necessarily have the biggest squad, and a few injuries could really, especially in defence, could really do them damage. Yeah. But granted, Arsenal, 10 games in, have only conceded 3 goals, which is a hell of a record.
Great record.
And they've only scored. I didn't see the highlights from yesterday's game, so I don't know if Rice's goal was from a set piece or not. But before yesterday's game, I think they'd only scored 5 goals from open play this season. So they are kind of riding the crest of the wave of, as you said, this new style of set pieces and long balls and yada, yada, yada.
Interesting to see what Thomas Tuchel does next summer. If he kind of looks at this trend and goes, can the rest of the world cope with English set piece and long ball? Just going back to that.
So Allardyce was ahead of his day. Yeah. For sure. He must be raging now.
He's
10 years out. Anyway, that's your footy guff for today. Anyway, let's do a quick feature.
Alrighty.
I'm going to open a Kinder Surprise. Eat it.
Here he comes.
And see what we get. So this is, listeners, I did buy a Kinder Surprise today. This is one of the Kinder Surprises you might have seen in the shops. It comes with a Playmobil DC superhero figure.
Oh, all right.
So we might have a Superman, a Batman,
a
Flash.
It's Harley Quinn.
Or it's James Gunn era DC these days, so it could be like someone who had like one comic back in 1941 called Fucko Boy or some shit like that.
I hope it's Mr. Wonderverse.
Here's one I got earlier.
It looks so bad.
It's a little bat.
It looks so stupid. I forgot what Playmobil looked like.
Yeah, little Lego men, but not.
Oh, that's great. That's what.
Little Martin Freeman.
Yeah. I want a little Playmobil AEW wrestler.
Okay, we'll leave the actual eating of the Kinder Surprise until I use.
Yeah, just scoff it right here on air.
Okay, we've got our little orange capsule here.
Capsule thing.
Popping it open. Here we go. What do we have? What's this? It's a little cape.
Oh no! I want it.
You've got a little pair of legs.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Blue pants,
And
and yellow shoes. Okay, it could be Liver Bates.
I'm gonna put it together. Okay, I'm gonna put it together here off camera. Show the boys if I can get it.
It could be Catwoman. That's true.
Close.
Oh, Batgirl. Oh, wow. Okay,
It's
very good.
Batgirl. So Batgirl will go with Batman.
Nice. Little collection going there.
Little collection. Anyway, that's our first feature. Do we have anything? Oh, we need to talk about the wrestling news before we go on with.
Well, I mean,
features.
like we got Blood and Guts, but I'm sure that will come up over the course of the telly reviews. They did announce them. The 2 matches for November 12th,
Which is this Wednesday week.
a week from this Wednesday. That's right. So they are. I think the big notable thing, and in my opinion, a gigantic negative, is that they are doing 2.
Yes.
And they are doing a men's one. And it's worse than just doing 2. The men's one feels like it absolutely does not need to happen. They're just doing it because to call them out a little bit of cowardice. I don't think they have the confidence in the women's one to stand on its own 2 feet. Which even if you're slightly concerned, that's true. Just do have Hanger beat some tier challenger in a title match on the undercard or something if you want. I feel like this waters down what is already kind of a concept I'm over. I don't know how you boys feel about that.
Yeah, I hate this trend of having to have a men and a women's of everything. It's just, God, we don't need 2 gimmicks on every show. It smacks of Hell in the Cell, the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are we having... It just so happens that we've got 2 feuds, one in the men's and one in the women's, that are so intense that they must be decided. Blood and guts.
Well, the main issue, of course, is that they don't actually.
Exactly. The women's one has been a complete fart. Wet fart. I don't even know why. Because it feels like these teams have basically been there the whole time. Like, why...
Yeah,
Why
and
has it been so difficult?
And it feels like there's multiple people that are just kind of filling in a little bit that aren't really
Tony Storm.
Yeah, and then it's just kind of like, but also it's like these people are like the Triangle of Madness and stuff. They're like running in on the matches and costing people a roll up here or there. At least, even though I think that the Death Rider thing also feels completely unneeded and it doesn't feel like it's the right time. Like post Darby making Moxley tap, it does not feel like it's the right time to have another big blow off with the Death Riders. But at least it's the Death Riders. They're like killing people and throwing people off of things and bloodying everyone. The women's match, it at least had the novelty of being the first one, so I thought that would carry it somewhat. But the 2 matches, for anyone who hasn't seen them, are Hayter, Aminata, Willow, Harley, and Tony Storm and Statlander.
Wow.
Versus Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Tekla, Megan Bain, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Monet. The men's is Darby Roderick Strong, who is not in the conglomeration, everybody. And the conglomeration, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Death Riders, which is Mox, Claudio, Wheeler, Garcia, and Pac. Yeah, I mean, again, it's the conglomeration are complete mid-carders through and through, and Darby has finally got his Mox win. So this just feels like the most on fumes. We have to do one of these a year, so we're doing it now.
Yeah, I mean, it smacks to me as someone got in Tony's ear. No, come on, let's have a men's one.
The ticket sales, which
ticket sales ratings.
Last time the ticket sales for because it is the Greensboro Coliseum, where it's called these days.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know. Wow.
Yeah, it's the building that Sting retired in.
Yes.
I mean, it is a big
Right.
one. And they were setting it up for that size, but I think they were hoping to get like 10,000. Last time I saw the tickets, it was more like in the 5 range, which is not bad for Dynamite, but obviously you wouldn't be building that big for 5,000.
Yeah, that's kind of the key thing. Yeah, I mean, by 2025 standards, 5,000 for them is like, that's probably going to be one of their best TVs of the year. But yeah, for that big building and you're doing 2 of this cage match that yeah, I'm looking here at WrestleTix update from Halloween. Yeah, okay. Again, this Sting's last match, not a fair comp at all. 16,000.
Yeah, so maybe half that would be a good number.
Would be
I would
nice.
think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
If I'm reading this correctly, I haven't actually checked WrestleTix in a while, so he does good work over there. Year to date show average 3,023. That is a now they've had multiple residencies in tiny buildings, to be fair, but that is grim. That is grim. An average of 3,000 people at an AEW show these days. Yeah, so things are, and we're going to do some other features before we jump into the reviews, but I mean, I think that's kind of where I am with AEW these days. I'm very lukewarm on the overall kind of. There's no juice in the creative at all, even though there's like little things about it that I do like. Like I think Joe and Hanger are doing a good little job, nice promos here and there. There is no sauce to almost anything on the show at the moment. And everyone's still working their arse off having really good matches on TV. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into the weeds on that in a few minutes on the review. Features before that though. What's the fantasy update before we do PassCody here?
Fan update. Okay, I mean, Joe had the better week of the 3. There might be any crazy news here. Joe scored a 21 across the TVs, a 13 for me, and a 12 for Barry. So Joe was ahead by about 10 points.
Not very good for me at all.
No title defenses or anything,
Right.
that typically would boost score. Of course, Barry, you've got like 5 champions on your team, so that would typically help you. Like Mercedes was defending the TBS, not TBS, the CMLL title. Bandito was defending the Ring of Honor title, so obviously they don't count. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. We have Toni Storm continuing to kind of tumble down the table. She's fallen 4th now, the long-time leader at number 1 for the longest time, down to 4th.
She's getting them tag titles.
Passed out by Okada.
If you live in America, go on one of your 8,000 gambling websites and stick some Counter-Strike gun skins on Toni Storm winning those tag titles.
Get onto margagamble.net. Buy yourself some Trump coins.
Get your Trump coins and call your local mobster and tell him you're good for it. And go to legitbusiness.org. Legitbusiness.org, they sponsor Dynamite. You see their ads all the time. Oh, dear.
AEW Collision, sponsored by Drink You've Never Heard of.
Well, that's why they have to sponsor.
Yeah,
he's got you there, idiot.
They're going to get...
Sponsored by DrinkThisPoison.net. Yeah, that's where we are. Ospreay as well, who for the longest time was, again, the most obvious number 1 pick, down to 9th for the year, soon to fall out of the top 10. Moxley's only 4 behind them. Ospreay obviously still in Barry's team.
Yeah.
Feel like that will be addressed sooner than later, of course.
Yeah, I'm not super moved by any of the free agents, unfortunately.
That's right. I've been wanting to do a trade for about 2 months now, and I'm just like, well, what? Who have we got? Cole Carter, Cosmo Ryan, Cowpoke Paul.
I'll have to. We're 2 months out at this stage, so even if I get someone who's not doing anything super impressive, it might be
I mean, even if you're to look at the number of matches of the Roderick Strong, 35 matches.
I actually, because maybe I should just do this now because I just realized we are in November, so I should probably do this. You know what? I'm going to do this right now. How about
always doing it?
I'm going to do that right now. All right. Will Ospreay. If someone wants to poach Will Ospreay, they may do so starting from now. I am trading him out. And as the entrance video says, want Mina now.
Ooh, Mina. Oh. Very good. So he's putting the Counter-Strike skins.
Yeah, I'm gambling a assault rifle with Peter Griffin's face on it on Steam that's worth like $6,000 for some reason, in completely legitimate reasons. I'm staking that on Mina and Tony.
Okay, well let's narrow down then to one transfer left for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Ospreay for Mina. I'll note that down here.
As we all envisioned at the start of the year, getting rid of Ospreay in favour of Mina.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't seeing that one coming.
I was thinking of it.
I'll give you. Sorry, before you go ahead, Barry. I'll give you a crazier statistic in terms of our initial drafts and our planning back in last December. What was initially a second round pick, not even in the top 20 point scores for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Any guesses who?
Cassidy?
Not Cassidy. No.
Darby?
Swerve.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Swerve
Strickland. I think he's the 21st top scorer.
Jeez.
And he was my second pick after Tony Stone. Didn't really do that for me either.
We are approaching the end of our season, and last year we obviously had our powwow about what do we do. I think we've gotten it down pretty well now. One thing I was thinking about there is like, could we do some kind of like small, like very small, not a real difference maker, but like some kind of like little thing you get for like an outside title win, like a point or something, you know,
outside 5-star as well, maybe.
Yeah, outside 5, little things like that aren't going to turn the tide massively, but just to acknowledge, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I had thoughts of getting really granular on it and being like, in-ring promo 1 point. I mean,
yeah. Although that's you're the one maintaining this, so that's
that would get a little crazy. I can imagine as well he started promo on the ramp and
then the ramp down. Yeah,
he was going to go to the ring and he got interrupted.
I'll draft Tony Schiavone in that case. So
well, would Schiavone get points for that? Who knows? Okay. That's your fancy update anyway. Again, like I said, nothing crazy. Moxley has passed 40 matches for the year. I'll give you another quick trivia note. So Moxley is this year's, to date, AEW workhorse of the year with the most matches. Last year's workhorse was Orange Cassidy, who was, of course, on Team Joe last year. Any guess how many matches he had last year?
No, God.
TV matches. Joe might remember.
Must have been over 50.
64.
Shit.
Jeez.
Granted, Rampage was still a thing last year.
That's crazy.
But Orange Cassidy, 64 matches. The next highest was Claudio with 51, which I think
basically wrestling on TV every week plus pay-per-views.
Plus, like, some weeks he would wrestle twice.
Yeah, that's
yeah. That's 64 matches by far the most. Okay, quiz time.
Let's do it.
We're going to do another little PassCody. Do we have written down how many points we got last week?
Yeah.
What was it? It was.
I've got it. It'll take me several minutes to find it.
That's fine. Same rules as last week. We have 4 rounds of 6 items, whatever you want to call it, wrestling related items that we'll have to. Joe and Barry will be giving to each other and giving 1-word clues to try to guess the item. And the sooner they get it, the more points they get. So who would like to receive the first set?
I think Joe went first last time, so I'm happy to go this time.
Okay, Barry, would you like set 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4, please.
4, here it comes. On your way.
All right.
Open up my to Barry right now.
Messages. Okay.
Got it?
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Okay, Joe. You're up.
Okada.
Don Carlos.
Nickname.
Doreen Maker.
Yes.
Got it for 4.
Accidental.
Accidental botch.
Crimson.
Hard way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me. Look. I need to verify something before I say it. Okay. Oh fuck! This is. Kama.
The Godfather.
Stable.
Right to censor? No.
Farouk.
Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
That's it. Fuck's sake, obviously.
Kaze.
Saying Kaze.
Kaze. Am I allowed to spell, Paul, or is that out of the...
If you want, yeah.
Kaze.
Kaze. Kaze. No, I have no idea what that is.
Grandpa.
Minoru Suzuki?
Yes. Very good. Very good. I nearly went Grandpa first, but I thought that might be too broad.
What? Oh, yeah, I would have got it from that. Is that his music?
Kaze Nina Ray is the song. Yeah.
Oh, I've got, yeah.
Kaze Nina Ray.
Okay. Meanie.
BWO?
Yes.
Very good.
Jones.
Taz?
Yes, and I was sticking to the rules. I was going to say, give me. I had to make sure I wasn't doing any voice when I said any of that.
I might have gone SpongeBob.
Oh,
25.
That was a tough round. I think we did well there.
25. Very good.
25, very good.
25. Very good.
Our score last week, by the way, was 95 out of 120. And this is actually other than last week, this is the first time we've played PassCody in exactly 1 year.
Wow.
We took a year off, went back. So there you go.
Interesting.
Unless I just forgot to write down the other score. Anyway. No, they won't remember. It's fine.
I mean, they're all recorded in audio form.
No, I won't check. It's fine.
Stick them into Notebook LM and see what's what. Okay, 1, 2, or 3, Joe?
2 keys.
2. Okay. I nearly sent it to Barry. That would be a mistake. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Well, okay. Pivin.
Pivin? Okay. Oh, I'm trying to think exactly what the phrase might be here. Monday Night Raw guest host or guest host era.
We'll give you.
What was it?
Yeah, Raw guest GM. Yeah,
Raw guest GM.
I should have said
I think it was
Summerfest.
guest star, guest GM.
Piven is a perfect opponent. That is
That's the first one that comes to
I've never actually watched Entourage, even though people love it. But I've always just been the fucking the nadir of like Raw as a TV post.
Summerfest.
Okay, he's going. Yeah, you mean SummerSlam, right?
Okay, number 2. Bodyguard.
Okay, couple of famous ones off the top of my head. I'm going to go. Diesel.
Nope. Gladiator.
Gladiator. Oh god, this is gonna annoy me because I don't know what this has to do with Bodyguard, but Gladiator has me thinking Nick Aldis.
No. MJF.
Ah, Wardlow. Fuck. That
was a risky one. That was a risky one if you'd got it from Gladiator, but yeah. Okay. Number 3. Rotation.
.450 splash.
Very good.
Wow.
That was amazing. Okay, number 4. Villain.
Heel?
Yes. I was worried you were going to go Marty.
I was thinking the impossible to put Marty Scurll on this quiz.
Okay, number 5. Nitro.
Monday Night Wars.
Nope. Easy.
Eric Bischoff.
There we go. Okay, number 6. Zone.
Okay, I'm thinking Impact Zone, but obviously couldn't use the word zone. Six-sided ring.
TV.
Oh, Impact.
Yeah, TNA Impact.
TNA Impact, sorry, the TV show.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we'll allow that.
Cool, very good.
Okay, 26 there.
Oh,
Okay.
We're doing well here.
Doing well.
25, 26. So let's go for 27 on the next one. Barry, set 1 or set 3?
3, please.
3, please. Here it goes.
Okay. I just had to pop Paul a question.
Yes, I
Okay.
confirm your question.
Okay. APA.
The Acolytes.
Cowboy.
JBL?
Yeah. My question to Paul was, am I allowed to say Bradshaw? Which, of course, I am not.
Not really, no.
Super kick.
Shawn Michaels?
Finisher.
Sweet chin music.
Yeah. Whew. Joshi.
Stardom.
Hmm. WWE.
What's Oscar?
Genius.
Genius. Genius. What's her name? She's a genius, though. Kyrie Sane. Who else is there? Genius.
Oh God, I'm struggling here. I'm really struggling. Okay. Up.
Joshi Genius. Oh.
And WWE.
And WWE.
Josh. Genius. Oh, shit. God, what's her name? EO.
Yes.
EO Sky. Oh, EO Sky.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. Genius of the Sky is her name, but I'm like, when will Joe have watched WWE in recent memory to see that?
What you would call that before, though?
Well, yeah, but still, you know,
Yeah,
we got there in the end. We got there in the end.
She was in Lucha Underground as well.
I was thinking of going, but then I was like, that's two words right there.
Henta.
Okay.
Okay, 2 points on that one.
What's that?
Cards.
Cards. Pay-per-views?
Faction.
Aces and eights.
Yes, well done. Fed.
WWE?
Yes. Voice.
Voice. Ole Anderson.
WWE.
Howard Finkel.
Commentator.
Michael Cole.
Yeah.
I should have gone. I did Finkel too quickly. Should have gone Cole. Thought. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a hard one. Michael Cole is a hard one.
22 on that one.
Right.
So that has us on 73 going into the final round.
Right. Okay. We can
do
100. We can do 100.
WWE Women, again, Joe's kryptonite. So, what was it? Alexa Bliss last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joe, here's your final.
There we go. Right. Janela.
Megan Bain.
Woman.
Janela Woman. Penelope Ford.
Yes. Yes. Um, hmm.
That man must be great crack to hang out with. I'll say that.
It must be all right off. Oh, Jesus. Just popped myself with a clue there, but it's 2 words. I can't say it.
I hate thinking of something because it's 2 words.
A promoter. Shit.
I love when you give a clue and immediately say
Immediately said,
Like, it's not bad. That's fine, but like I could have come up with something better. Yeah.
fair.
Nick Khan.
Female.
Female. Stephanie.
Panda.
Dixie Carter.
Like I could have got that one.
I was like, oh, fuck, I was trying to remember the Rock's mom's name here.
But I was thinking before we go on, if Joe had said Panda from step 1, Barry might have guessed WWF.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was going to say Panda. I was going to say Panda. My 2-word clue was Money Mark. Or and Deck. Okay, number 3. Revenge.
Revenge. Payoff or blow off?
No. Potato.
Receipt.
Yes, correct. Number 4. Goozle.
Chokeslam?
Yes.
Very good.
Number 5. Cage.
Couple of routes here. I'm thinking I could go Blood and Guts.
WCW.
War Games.
Yeah.
War Games.
Final one. DX.
DX. Socket.
Team.
New Age Outlaws.
Yeah. You got it.
Woof.
Okay. We scored 24 there, giving us a total score for today for Joe Barry of 97.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That was a tough. I think that was a tough selection there. Now I think we did very well there.
Yeah.
I mean, there were, to balance it out, there were a few thrown in like WWE.
Yeah.
and heel.
Yeah.
to be fair, to try to level it out a little bit. Like I say, the more times you play this, you have to look for more and more references that aren't too obscure.
Yeah.
It's interesting putting this quiz together because you are thinking of things and then going, they could just say that. Like there's an obvious one answer.
Yeah.
For it, And again, you could throw in a few of those. We need to have a few like, whatever. Minoru Suzuki, not immediately coming to mind an obvious one. But yeah, 97 points. They're very good. What did we get last week? Did we say
95?
Okay, so beat last week. Very good. Okay,
Alrighty.
that's our quiz for today.
We'll jump into Dynamite. Despite my grievances, actually, I did think it was a pretty watchable episode of TV. I thought.
I thought it was a very good. This is AEW when it's good. This is why I got this show. I actually really enjoyed it. Everything felt like something was happening. Something was going somewhere. Something mattered. Too often the show, it's like, what's the stakes? What's the urgency? There's nothing. But this felt to me like a really consequential show.
Yes.
It kicked off with the Trick or Treat Tornado Tag. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy defeated Wheeler, Yuta, and Daniel Garcia, which was good fun.
Fun match.
All action, kind of brawling tag match with no tags. So was this where they? No, they didn't announce Blood and Guts just yet. So they
not just yet.
They just opened with the tag. Hook arrived in his big D12 shirt. Talked about the chance he was getting in the main event. There you go. Don Callis was schmoozing with Bucks backstage, trying to recruit them. And so continuing the world's longest storyline, it feels like he's like, I've sorted out your entrance for tonight. The amount of television time that has been dedicated to talking about these men's entrance and their money has been completely tortuous. But and that segued into another quibble I had, which was that this was a big pay-per-view matchmaking episode of Dynamite, and there was 2 separate 4 ways to pick out your challengers rather than do
storyline progression,
anything else at all. Other things. When did this become like the multi-man promotion? I feel like we are just constantly in multi-man world now to determine these things, and I'm completely over it. And like this was really fun. This match, it was FTR winning the top contender spot for Full Gear versus Jet Speed, Young Bucks, and Jurassic Express. Kind of feels like it was a 4-way because, well, Jet Speed are jabronis, so it can't be FTR versus... FTR can't just beat Jet Speed to get the title shot. So we got to put the 2 other teams that are pushed in there, but we're also not going to beat either of them. Which my recommendation would be to... But again, Tony Khan won't want to hear this. Tony, you could just have FTR pin Jack Perry. He's not going to be a star, mate. He's not going to be a star. So I would just have it. I feel like you just brought it back and turned him face, and maybe you don't want to beat him. But I don't think it's... risking the future of your company to have FTR beat him on an episode.
And also, the team that are going to fight for the championships on your pay-per-view can beat the team that are.
Yes, that's the most important thing I would say. Is even if you do want to ultimately do something with Jurassic Express, you're not doing it this month. You're going with FTR as they should as well, because FTR continue to be on their great run. So anyway. So FTR win, and that sets up FTR challenging at Full Gear against Brodito.
Oh, baby. That sounds good. Based on what we saw from them last month.
It's going to be a super match, and I like Brodito a lot. I think they made the right call by going with them striking while the iron's hot, which we criticized them for not doing. I think you could probably go with FTR. I think you don't want this great FTR run to slip through your fingers without crowning them. So then we had a segment that was really good, more or less, but I had plenty of nitpicks about it. The Don Callis in-ring segment, where he was basically trying to make peace with Takeshita and Okada. He had the whole family out there. Some people even forgot were in his family. I don't even think he had all of them. I can't remember. Is Rouge in this stable or no? Or is he independent? No, LFI are independent of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he had his whole family out there, and he was talking about how great they were and how they were going to be one strong unit, but there was this one issue, and it was he ran down all their achievements. Obviously, he talked about Kyle Fletcher being the TNT champion. So they were puffing their chest. It was a big segment all about Strong Callis family. Takeshita came out separately, so again, there's another had his IWGP Heavyweight Championship with him, and Okada's facials during all of this were so fucking good. Okada's ability to just tell a story with a sneer is really, really good.
Oh, so good.
And so Callus is reading him the riot act and says, you need to put your ego aside and shake hands. And so Takeshita extends his hand, and like just see it coming a mile away, but that just made it even better. Okada very slowly raised his hand, and it keeps raising right up to Takeshita's face, and he gives him the finger. It was great. It was great. And this is one of the things on the show that actually feels like it does have a bit of juice to it. The crowd wants to see these two go at it.
The crowd loved it.
And this, I mean, this could be a pay-per-view match for sure.
Oh,
I feel like they're going to tease this for a long time, though. I feel like, because I don't think they're going to do this until the point they're happy to have Takeshita win. So
C2 final. C2.
Yeah, that's the. I suppose. Yeah, I shouldn't really say they're going to tease their fall because I feel like that it feels like it's the C2 final.
In a couple of months to be perfect.
I mean, I suppose that should be. That's usually like Christmas week, isn't it? The World's End.
Yeah.
So they've got about 2 months there to keep teasing that out. So Callus then separated them and said they were gonna team again on Collision to sort all this out.
Oh my god, this is so good. I like because there's the element of authenticity to it. Of like, we know Okada was the top man in Japan.
Yes,
Takeshita is supposedly the top man in Japan, but the crowd don't like him. It's that legitimacy of like Okada's was the guy. Takeshita's not being accepted as the guy, so it does really play into like the.
And it's two guys. Even though Okada can do the comedy and he can do the middle finger, it's also two guys who do carry themselves like alphas. Funnily enough, fitting the Takeshita's gimmick. You believe that they're going to butt heads in a physical contact kind of big hard hitting fight. Do you know what I mean? It's great. My criticisms were that even as hard as this hit. I could do without the tables in the ring and the Callus painting and it's one of the many little things in the show where I'm just like, it's so raw. You could have just had Don Callis and those two lads out there and him saying, I'm out here to chat to you about these problems, and just do the exact same segment the rest of the way. It's small, but I do think it matters, you know.
I still got enjoyment out of the summit in the sense of it made me laugh when they said we've got the four main points of the family, our reason for existing. Like all four of them were the exact same thing, just phrased differently.
Yeah.
That did make me laugh. And then Kyle Fletcher reading out the oath that they all took when they joined the family, allegedly.
With his Homer Simpson glasses on.
Yeah. I saw as well, I need to pull it up here, Brian Cage tweeted that he was on the picture but not jacked enough. And Don Callis said something, I forget what he said, but it was like buried him on Twitter. It's very funny. Let's see if I can find it here. Brian Cage Halloween costume, a useful member of the Don Callis family. Very good. Look, I mean, this to me is the people's main event of what's going on TV currently. Basically, this is the top thing that they're doing that I tune in for. Takeshi is also like a style icon. Comes down in those pants. My God,
tremendous.
I mean, there's a few milestones that will hit throughout this storyline. Obviously, we'll get to Collision, but Collision did feature Takeshi getting a measure of revenge on Okada. There was a Tower of Doom spot where he gave Okada the power bomb. We haven't quite got yet, which I'm maybe we won't get for a few weeks, but will be one of those, like I said, one of those milestones. Takeshi giving Okada the finger off something like that. Giving it back.
That's the final spot of World's End.
That's got to be what's the most famous strange bedfellow tag where someone jumps off the apron and doesn't give the tag. Like, what's the
Sid and Hogan.
Sid and Hogan. It's going to be they'll do a couple more tag matches. Maybe they start working better together and they get a tag title shot. Not a tag title shot because I don't think you should do that in a title match. But some kind of match they seem like they're getting on, and then Takeshita jumps off the apron and gives him the finger, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah,
There was a lot of chest bumping on Collision.
Yeah.
Oh, tremendous.
Very, very good.
Statlander was backstage, said she was going to be watching the match on Collision with Olympia versus Monet. And then she went to leave and she came back and said, but I am around tonight if you have anything you want to say to my face, which I thought was actually a nice little thing they did where she threw that in at the end. And then like the next time you saw them, they were like in progress brawling backstage, which I thought was a good little thing. Better than having Monet just walk up during that segment and they start fighting then. I like the idea that she just threw a little jab in at the end and Monet like unexpectedly went and found her. You know, I thought that was well done.
Yeah.
We had another Kyle O'Reilly, John Moxley match, which I thought was a really good, again, O'Reilly in there just turning it on and having a really good match. Moxley on this great run at the moment. Went for a similar kind of finish this time as last. They were on the floor. O'Reilly got him in a front face lock. Moxley would not tap following last week's kind of example, but O'Reilly wouldn't release, so they got counted out. So crowd weren't too happy with it in a way that didn't feel great. I felt like they were a little bit annoyed. Rather than, intrigued by what would come next. But it was a good match. And again, they're continuing this Mox stories. These two work really well together.
This is where we had the Blood Guts announcement, which is my nitpick of the week.
What's that?
I know Orange Cassidy is a fun old guy. He's a fun character, but hands in the pockets. Does the drop kick, does the kip up. Has the sunglasses, the aviators. I would not have him announce your big, exciting double cage match and go, blood and guts, I guess.
Yeah. Especially when it's already it's already a whole kind of announcement, and it's it felt like the wrong energy. It felt like the wrong energy.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, to come back to the blood and guts discussion quickly, one thing that I would like them to do, because I feel like if they're going to do blood and guts, it'll give it a bit extra juice. And this is kind of part of my issue with sometimes the attention to detail. Not that this would like solve all the creative issues and suddenly make it class, but I would love them to. I mean, if Tony is truly an old school wrestling fan, I would have, say, Darby and Mox are your team captains. I mean, we might talk about this before. And you have Darby's Daredevils versus Moxley's Death Riders. I'm harkening back to your Sting squadrons of the past, your Hogan heroes. A little bit of fun kind of branding to it. But then also, you can lead into the storylines building up in terms of Darby putting together his team. You can have Darby maybe scouting some people, Darby in conversation with some people to get them on his team. And then you can make, in like now, 2 weeks before, you can formally announce the teams, as opposed to, and this is true of the women's one as well. How do you build to and announce the women's teams? Renee just says it in a video package.
Yeah.
Instead of there being any storyline to it. I mean, we had the same criticism last year of the C2, right? How do you announce the C2? Right. Yeah, we talked about this fanciful idea of you do a special and it's like the FA Cup draw and you have two legends, picking the balls and you make a whole little spectacle out of it. And instead they just do a video package. Same thing for Blood and Guts. I would like a little bit more pageantry, a little bit more.
It's a perennial problem with AEW, I think, just the way they treat things. And this is all within their control, right? It's not like this isn't a thing of like, WWE is doing stuff or talent. This is all within their control. How they promote shows, how they promote events, match it. Like, it's never the 100% effort that I think they need. I almost think they need a bit of a kick up the arse, to be honest. I hope, I think that maybe you should move NXT back to Wednesdays just to get Tony Khan, give him a bit of a kick up the bum.
I mean, just think of okay, you have Blood and Guts on November 12th or whatever it is, and you've got 5 weeks to lead up to that. What are you doing to make that match feel special, or stand out from everything else you do all year?
Yeah,
I don't know. These are just ideas, something to make it feel different than your standard cage match or feel like it has even a tie-in to the historical war games of the past that it's kind of paying homage to, you know. And ultimately, like we said, I think if they had only done a women's game match, that would be such a feather in the cap to say, you know, some companies talk about it and we actually do it. We only did a women's one this year. There was no men's. I mean, they don't have to say it. The optics are there, right? AEW had their special match. Only the women got it. There was no men's match. How great is that? The fact that they then, we're doing two. And that's the worst thing. I mean, people have been complaining about that. I mean, we going back to like, when did they start doing the pay-per-view? Like 2011, 2012?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 2010,
where we're doing like 3 Hell in a Cells on one pay-per-view. I mean,
kills the gimmick.
I know that we are not super blood and guts fans in the current format anyway, but doing two, it's a tale as old as time, dilutes it.
Yeah.
Makes each of them feel less important because there's 2 of them now. Spots presumably have to be split between the 2. Something you do in one, you can't do in the other. And so on a match level, they're also now not as good because they're being, the ideas are having to be divided. And the matches kind of feel and run long anyway. I mean, nowadays, a War Games or a Blood and Guts match, you're talking about the lion's share of 15 minutes, give or take. 2 of those on a show. And then you have Orange Cassidy going, I guess so. I guess we're doing a War Games, guys. I mean, the whole point of War Games, presumably, is that you should be champing at the bit to see these guys tear each other apart.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't get the feeling that that's necessarily the case. And then you have, like, we talked about it also, like, Roderick Strong is in the team. What does Roderick Strong, like, what's his gripe with anybody on the Death Riders?
Yeah, why is he there?
Why is he there? And I'm not even asking that.
I mean, yeah, literally, no, I think
from
it's
a character motivation point of view.
Why is he?
It's like,
why is he in the team?
Maybe he'll turn. I don't know. Maybe he'll turn.
Well, he could do, although I don't think the Death Rider needs another. That could happen. They actually could do that, but I don't know if the Death Riders needs another extension because a guy joined again, you know.
Right, yeah. Not that he'll join necessarily, but he might be.
He might fuck off the conglomeration.
Yeah, or he might tap out. He might be like, "Fuck this, I'm tapping out," and losing that. Yeah, you know, that's all like that.
In a match where it's like someone has to give up, it's the most violent thing ever. It's like he doesn't even like the conglomeration, and he's had such limited interaction with the Death Rider. It is odd.
We'll see.
But yeah, this is where we had the 1A brawl. But Stat, Athena came out to assist her, and she got saved by Willow and Harley Cameron. Willow kind of not really helping Stat to her feet, just kind of chasing off the heels. So they're still doing that. So there you go. Sisters of Sin defeated Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata, upset of the century.
Thank God none of us predicted that Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter were going to win the belts last week. That would have been embarrassing. Look very stupid if we did that.
That
would be silly. They are the people's champions. They are my champions.
That's true.
In my heart.
I feel like that's the point of these titles in this new division, effectively a new division, is to give those people that are really kind of bubbling up under the surface of the world something to do. And I'd say this is a good team, and I think they should. They'll probably stick it out, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do win it down the line. But they went with the established team. They went with feels, because you're going to have I assume the way they're balancing out the things, they were like, okay, we can't have, or we've got a lack of heels. So it makes logical sense to put the established team in, but there is such canyon in the different quality between these two teams. It is really outrageous. But
that's strange from the AEW point of view. Is you have the team of 2 women who are really, really fantastic in ring, and then you have the prospects, very young prospects, Sky Blue and Julie Hart, who aren't quite there yet, but they almost to me feel like they're in the Hook category. Granted, they wrestle a lot more than Hook does, but we'll see.
So we had a segment. By the way, so Tekla got involved, obviously, in Spirit Hater.
Yes.
So again, it's kind of like, I mean, I suppose, like in the canon of the show, the tag title thing is a big deal, and Jamie Hayter's like furious, but it's like speared her on the outside of the ring, to set up Blood and Guts,
Yeah.
Had the announcement here of Penelope Ford being out of the tournament with an injury and also out of Blood and Guts. So she threw out a request if anyone was, the usual stuff. She wanted a partner, and from off camera wanders in Marina Shafir, and Barry's Paul nitpick of the week here. I've had a couple.
I also have a nitpick.
We're going to do probably the exact same thing.
Yes.
Paul's nitpick of the week.
Mox coming in and going, so that happened when they teamed up.
Yeah.
You are the top heel in this company. Oh,
why is this happening?
He's been like goofy the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows this angle is winding down, or maybe, I don't know, if he's taking a break soon or what. That dude could have done without that.
That's why he did
his
little head comes in between. Horrible. But I'm still quoting from a few weeks ago his super camp delivery building up to the Derby match of, well, I certainly won't be saying I quit. That still gets said in this house as like, what has happened to this guy? Very goofy, very, very goofy, and kind of, in my eyes, this is super nitpicky, but in my eyes, kind of undermined the two women.
Yeah, especially with they're the killers. They're the two killers of the division.
Killers. Don't have Moxley come in between and go, her.
Especially like Marina has been in matches with him. Like she was in the Stadium Stampede or whatever, or Anarchy in the Arena. Like he hits it up with the men. She swinging weapons, and Bane is like obviously like this Amazonian giant, scary. I don't know. Absolutely.
I mean, but the thing is that Mox is typically that as well. But I don't get what he was thinking with this. If he came in right, totally straight laced and kind of nodded or whatever. Excuse me. That could be seen as a bit of a, Mox, who was the world champion, is kind of giving these the stamp of approval. But he came in doing this goofy, like, Adam Sandler performance.
Bizarre.
His instincts were way off on this one.
That led us to our main event, which is another 4-way. Top contender match, Samoa Joe and two upper mid-carders and a guy to pin in a 4-way. It was Joe, Hook, Lashley, and Ricochet. This is a lot of fun. This is another really good match.
This is a banger.
Oh, this was fun.
Ricochet was on fire. I'm itching for more Lashley singles action. I know. I think I really like Joe's work, but I was pulling for Lashley in this one. I thought that would have been a great match.
Let's just get Lashley in the world title picture or something. Let's get Lashley wrestling someone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good.
I mean, I thought Ricochet was the MVP in this match, though.
Oh, really?
I thought Ricochet gave a tremendous show here.
Yeah, but you're not rooting for.
No, it wasn't really. But in terms of the performance, I thought Ricochet. Lashley was the most over, of course, and even the crowd were super into Lashley. But I thought Ricochet, I was like, oh my God, I forgot how great this guy is.
Yeah, Ricochet's another guy. I mean, we talked about this. Even go back to All In, like he didn't have like a big match at All In, the big singles match, and he hasn't really had it since because he's been in the 6th match. That's a disappointment because he's been so good this year. I really feel like he deserves, a big kind of
feud.
Big feud, yeah.
Was it this time last year he started to kind of figure it out? Was it around the C2 time last year? Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good all action match. Good stuff from Hook as well. He was kind of firing up against the big men. I still kind of am. I'm out on Hook, but to be fair, good stuff. I mean, by the way, has anything felt more telegraphed in a while than like the Hook Kingston like split? Because Hook is like in main events and Kingston's just like nowhere to be found. He's on Dynamite this coming week, I guess, in a trios match. But like they are just so not using this guy to the point. I'm like, they must be splitting them up soon and just doing an angle where he's like jealous or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyway,
what about?
No, Joe.
Hook joins the Hurt Syndicate? I don't know.
I think we suggested that before.
We said it before, but Tony didn't listen, so let's say it again.
No,
Tony, say it again.
all right, Jay, Tony, one more time. Pop the volume up there, boss. I know you're listening.
Get Hook in a suit.
Yeah.
Get him in the Hurt Syndicate. And then turn on Taz. Have him from
turn on Taz.
Have him Taz play. Get Taz in the Taz mode. Say,
God.
You've been holding me back. I should have been fucking
stopped. I mean, slap Taz is the ultimate.
Slap him, get him in the Taz mission, and fucking.
And I'll continue to be the only person on this island plugging away at this. But if you're putting a Hook into one of these groups like that, you got to change his look. You got to get rid of the 12-year-old haircut.
Oh, yeah. If you're doing that, it's time for... I think it's time for a rebrand anyway.
Buzz cut, a little beard, get a little beard going.
If he was back in the Hurt Syndicate, that means he can go back to having good music.
Yeah. We hurt people.
Which he certainly does not right
we
now.
Hurt people.
Alrighty. That then segued into... All right, listen, everyone. They got a cute little gif out of this when it was all said and done. All right, but this was perhaps the most contrived thing in the entire history of professional wrestling, dating back to like people at the carnival fake wrestling a bear. So Joe wins the match. He's the number one contender. Out come the Ops to celebrate with it. Right? Shivani says we're going to do the contract signing now with what did he call them? Our Halloween helpers or some shit. They had these guys in the background of a couple of skits all night. I guess the implication being that they were like production workers who were dressed up in silly outfits, right? So, when does this company ever do this? Please give it up for the stage hands coming down to build the sets or whatever. He's like, we're going to do the contract signing right now. Please give it up for the Halloween helpers. So down come the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and a couple of other dudes in costumes, right? So Joe's like, oh, no, I know where this is going. And he beats up the jabronis in the outfits. And they make a big deal of unmasking the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because everyone remembers the hangman thing from
who was about 5'2", by the way, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was like come on, he's not built like the hangman at all, but that's fair enough. So they isolate the Puff Marshmallow Man, take his mask off. It's some guy, and Joe's like, "All right, sorry boys, I guess we didn't need to kill you." Okay. So after that, we then hear Shivani's voice coming from somewhere. I mean, just a person who looks like
the microphone
standing the microphone. So it must be coming from the microphone. Yeah, it must be Tony Schiavone himself speaking into the microphone. So Schiavone does this big elaborate cheers to All Elite Wrestling, where the best wrestle, and to Full Gear, blah on this day when the men's title will be on the line, defended by Adam Page, the living embodiment of cowboy shit. And so basically, very obviously, Hangman Adam Page is standing behind Joe, doing a rough lip sync of this, leading to the reveal that he takes off the Phantom of the Opera mask that Shivani was wearing in a wig. And you got a cute little reveal out of it, but it was just so... I don't know if it was worth all the messing to get to this exact moment. Do you know what I mean? But it was cute enough, I suppose.
I thought it was fun. I mean, there was one shot on the outside where they first showed, quote-unquote, Shivani standing outside the ring.
Yeah.
And that gave the game away. That one shot was too. I would just don't do that. Do from the other side of the ring a long distance shot where you can see kind of the outline. Oh, it's Shivani. But it was like from behind, and Shivani was super jacked all of a sudden. I was like, oh, that's suspicious. Otherwise, I thought it was very well done.
I think it was good. It was just a setup. Yeah, it was.
You're right.
It could have done it a lot less contrived. I don't know why.
Presumably, that was to divert attention while they did the switcheroo of Shivani's.
I'm sure there was a smart way to do that. Is the other thing.
Yeah. Shivani rolling a ring for no reason.
In years to come, we will have forgotten all the bullshit bit, and we'll just remember that.
And they'll play the clip, and everyone will go, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The problem as well was in the clunky delivery, I'd say, of the whole, like, Joe and the Hobbs and Shibata were kind of standing in the ring and walking around, and nothing was happening for like 20 seconds.
Yes.
It wasn't a smooth stray through the ideas. But that was Dynamite anyway. It was good crack.
It was fun enough. Yeah, it was fun enough. Any news or notes from Collision?
Collision had a very good main event with Mascara Dorada against Bandito.
Oh, that does sound good.
As you'd expect. I would say it was just short of my expectations.
Okay.
That it was very, very good, but it wasn't the like, oh my God, you got to check this one out.
Right.
Very, very good. Like for me, I'd go like 4.5. But I wouldn't necessarily go 5. Although we'll see come Friday whether Barry has 5 bonus points coming his way. For me, I would say just short of it. But it was.
That's
it
what
was very
you
good.
think, but who cares what you think about star ratings?
Correct.
There's only one set of star ratings we care about, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I would subtract half a star already for the fact that it was Bandito versus Mascara Dorada with Alex Abrahantes.
God, that man.
Negative 1 star.
That man, he stays working, certainly, somehow.
He's the man who inexplicably comes out with all Mexican wrestlers in the world. And is, God love him, he tries, he's a trier.
Oh, but he certainly fucking tries.
Possibly the least cool man in history. The history of wrestling. Total lame-o. Millhouse of AEW.
Oh,
and
here.
What else do we have? We opened with the Acclaimed, not known as such, but Anthony Bones and Max Caster against the Geek Jabroni team of Okada and Takeshita, who, of course, beat them up. As I mentioned, we did have the powerbomb spot on Okada, so there's a little bit of payback. We then had Okada hitting fools with a Rainmaker, but unbeknownst to him, Takeshita had got a blind tag. And Takeshita came in and got the Raging Fire for the pinfall, and they then continued to bump their big meaty chests off each other. Of course, they were still not getting along come the end, so that's where we are there. They did win, but still not on the same page. Mercedes Moné against Olympia, aka the woman with the biggest lats in the world. Good fun. We had Statlander on commentary. Mercedes did win with the statement maker for the tap out. Otherwise, there wasn't a lot. Mercedes threw Olympia into Statlander, but otherwise there wasn't a lot of storyline progression here. We had Renee interviewing the Young Bucks following the match on Dynamite. Don Callis interrupted them to let them know that there's a match on the table for Full Gear if they're interested, and it is $1 million money match. $1 million.
That's silly.
It's going to keep going up. We're going to get to $1 billion.
Yeah. It's the Bitcoin Battle Royal. So the match theoretically will be the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander against Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega. Is the match.
Okay.
So let's see. Nixon Newell and Miranda Elise versus Megan Bain and Marina Shafir. So this was Nixon Newell's AEW debut.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a very long debut. Beat them in 2.5 minutes with the big running Lagabomb. Megan Bain getting the win. Shafir looked good, I'll say. We've seen Marina's had a handful of matches this year, often mixed matches, but this she good. She looked good. I mean, actually Moxley was on commentary for this and was kind of giving in-universe reasons why Marina doesn't wrestle a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're trying to get her matches. Nobody will accept a match with her. She's so dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Which is fair enough, but I like Marina insofar as she wrestles a very different style to everybody else, and I'm all for variety. She looked good here. We then had the Blood and Guts announcement, women's match, which will have 12 women wrestlers, more than the 10 with the men's and 5. Yeah, so it'll be Tekla, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, Megan Bain, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Moné. Very much looking forward to Mercedes dragging the blade coast to coast against Jamie Hayter, Queen Aminata, Harley Cameron, Willow, Statlander, and Tony Storm. So, I mean, look, I think There's a lot of star power in that match. They've basically put their top 12 women in there. I mean, I recall last week I put together a theoretical women's C2 brackets of 12, the top 12.
Oh, yeah.
I think 11 of those women are in this match. So I can't really complain, you know? But again, why is Mercedes teaming with the Triangle of Madness and Shafir and Bane?
Yeah.
Like what's the thread linking those together? Aside from Renee said it in this video package, it would have been nice to have some build to this. Like Mercedes is the team captain, and she's put together this team that nobody can beat. It's the Triangle of Madness. It's Bane. It's Shafir. It's all the top women. And then you have something for the baby faces to go against, and they put together their team. You know, a little bit of storylines. Commander Mark Briscoe and Roderick Strong beat LFI. That was Drilistico, Beast Mortos, and Sammy Guevara. We then had Eddie Kingston and Hook backstage. So Eddie Kingston,
There he is.
this is what they flew him in for. The cameraman came up and said, Hook, why did you tap out so quickly in that match on Dynamite? So the cameraman's got an attitude. Now, I did like Hook's answer was, look, when you're caught, you're caught. Live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fair enough. And I'm someone who's a little tired of the trope that baby faces always pass out, never submit. Hey, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you get pinned. Sometimes you tap. Whatever. I don't mind that. So that was fine. But, you know, Eddie Kingston was just there, basically. MXM TV casting call. We had Mason Madden, Mansoor, and Johnny TV against the new look Bang Bang Gang. Ace Austin, Austin Gunn, and Juice Robinson. And the Bang Bang Gang got the win, of course. And then the main event was Bandito, Mascara, Dorada, as we said. Bandito came out with Day of the Dead get up and looked super cool. And then he did win with the 21 Plex, which is very good. But it was a very good match. Like I say, not an absolute stone cold fiver for me, but it was very good. There you go.
Alrighty. That was Collision.
Yes.
What movies you got this week, gents?
Well, me and Joe both, I believe, saw the same movie yesterday. I can't hear Joe, by the way.
Both been to the cinema. And,
There you are.
Seamless. And and seen Bugonia.
Bugonia.
The new Yorgos.
Yorgos joint.
Yeah. I'll say, Joe, I don't know about how your experience was. I have to commend the punters that joined me in the cinema, in View Cinema, at an 11:30 a.m. showing of Bugonia, and immaculately behaved screening.
Same here. I think we saw it at 11 as well. Yeah, it was like a 12-seat screen. So
Ours was a bigger one, but not a single person to complain
if you're
about.
getting that up that early to see a Yorgos Lanthimos movie,
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to eat popcorn, are you? Or eat hot dogs. Yeah, so I mean, God, you know, you got Emma Stone, you got Jesse Plemons. I mean,
You got your logos behind the camera.
you got the big boy behind the camera.
Big logo.
Yeah, I think I was always going to like it. I've been looking forward to this one, and it did deliver for me.
Yeah, you like Poor Things a lot as well.
I love Poor Things. This one is a lot more.
The favourite.
Kinds of Kindness was alright.
I think this was stronger than Kinds of Kindness for sure. I think it was stronger.
Yeah. This is probably the most straightforward of all of those films, really.
Okay.
I know it's quite.
Yeah, and the favourite maybe.
It's quite sort of complex in theme, and you know, it's not like a laugh a minute. Like it's intense, and there's some weird shit going on. But it's also kind of a, you know, two guys kidnap a CEO because they think she's an alien. And that's the concept. That's
the plot is a very easy sell.
Because there's a remake of a Korean film, which was more of a, looking at that, it's a very similar plot, but it seems like a much more comedic or kind of,
It's not about dark comedy elements to it.
Yeah, so I think because it was based on that plot, it's a very clear, high concept kind of plot that you can sell to anyone in one line, right? But then the actual execution of it is a lot more sort of interesting than it could be. So, yeah, I thought it was really good. Jesse Plemons is just watch him in anything. I'll give it an extra half a star just because Jesse Plemons is in it. He's really good. Emma Stone is really
Emma Stone's
good.
great. Yeah.
It kind of thematically, I don't know that it really broke a lot of new ground.
No.
A lot of it was kind of, it's stuff about conspiracy, capitalism, human nature. A lot of the, I didn't come away with my kind of worldview drastically altered or anything. Like it was just kind of interesting. But I was just more so into the relationship between Plemons and Stone. I just thought they'd playing off each other so well. And that kind of two-hander was really good. And then there's a kind of mystery element to it. Kind of you don't know what's real and what's not real. So that keeps you guessing all the way to the end. So
yeah. Similar to obviously it's a very different kind of movie, but similar in that sense to something like Knock at the Cabin, where there's this mystery element as well that I feel like in the end, similar again to Knock at the Cabin, I feel like the mystery ultimately doesn't really affect the rest of the movie, because I mean you're watching it thinking like ultimately is Emma Stone an alien or not?
Yeah.
And I think ultimately in the end they kind of pull you back and forth in a few directions. I think ultimately it doesn't actually really matter what the ending of the movie is or isn't. I mean, I think this is a movie that is all about the journey. And all about it's kind of split up into 4 chapters, and as it progresses, I mean, it does really do a great job of holding the suspense, and actually, like you're really into kind of finding out what's going on. And then I felt like, by the end, I had enjoyed the ride so much that I wasn't really interested in kind of finding out kind of the truth. Yeah, I mean, great performance movie. I think everybody in it was very good. Very interested that there's also a character who shows up, a police officer halfway through the movie, because obviously the CEO of this pharmaceutical company being kidnapped spawns a search. And there's this small backstory of that the police officer has a relationship to the Plemons character, where he had been his babysitter or something. Obviously, in real life, Jesse Plemons is older than that actor. Plemons is also older than Emma Stone, which also contributes a small backstory that those two characters have. So you kind of forget about the real life ages of these people. I thought it was a funny note. There's a few tropes that the film plays into that I don't love. I won't talk about them that much because it does delve into spoiler territory, but maybe if we talk about this movie one day in spoiler terms, I could go more into that. But there's 1 or 2 things where, in terms of character motivations, stuff they hint about that I don't particularly care for. But yeah, I came away really, really enjoying it. I think I don't think it's quite as good as Poor Things for me. Maybe on the same level as something like The Favourite. I know some people might prefer The Favourite to Poor Things, fair enough. But for me, about that level, I think it's better than Kinds of Kindness. It's certainly more consistent than something like The Lobster, which I really enjoyed the first half of The Lobster. I think the second half is a bit rubbish. I think this is very good throughout. Also more consistent than something like Kinds of Kindness, which I think Kinds of Kindness being an anthology film, I think the first part of Kinds of Kindness was great, and then the other 2, again, not quite as good. So this is a film that's very good throughout. Great performances, great visuals. I mean, if you've seen the marketing for this film, you've already seen the bald-headed little Emma Stone with the chalky white face, which I think is just such a great, striking image. So it's one that's already kind of sticking in the mind. It is very funny at points. It is very shocking at points. It is very tense points. So for me, it does tick a lot of the boxes, and certainly worth checking out. I don't know whether it'll necessarily be in awards consideration. No,
I think it's maybe 1 or 2.
I think it's a damn fine movie. I think the score was really good. Yeah, maybe that's really great music. Great kind of saturated visuals as well. Yeah, really good one. Really, really good. And Bugonia, of course, is a reference to bees, and bees do factor into the movie somewhat as well.
Okay. Interesting.
On an environmental level, let's say.
I'm even more intrigued now.
You got lemons, you got bees.
What else, boys?
I also have seen. I was quickly run through. I watched Hocus Pocus for the first time.
Oh, you've never seen that before? Interesting.
I'd never seen Hocus Pocus. I watched it on Halloween night. In lieu of any children coming to the door, I said, "Well, let me watch this. Let me watch this Hocus Pocus movie for the first time." I thought it was a lot of fun, and I can certainly see why a lot of people have a real fondness for it, and why it falls into the annual rotation for Halloween movies.
Right.
I think it has that comfortable 90s feel to it, like an Amblin movie, or like, I know it's a very different movie, but it almost feels like a Halloween equivalent of something like Home Alone is for Christmas. That comfortable little blanket you can wrap yourself in, get that feeling of how movies used to be made back then, with the bright score and the kind of plucky young kid performances who were all very good in it as well. Yeah, I thought it was very good fun. I'm not sure I'll go and check out the sequel, which came out a year or two ago, but Bette Midler is firing on all cylinders, giving a kind of pantomime villain level performance, which was very, very fun. Sarah Jessica Parker, I thought the same, way over the top in a very fun way. I think all three of them were really great. And there was a lot of really clever fish out of water stuff, which I didn't anticipate going in. I didn't really know what the plot of Hocus Pocus was.
Yeah.
So when it opened in like whatever 1700 Salem, I thought that's what the movie was going to be.
You're right.
And then of course, it jumps forward to 1990s modern day, and so there's a lot of funny fish out of water stuff with the witches, and yeah, that was a very solid, fun watch.
It's a silly, fun 90s.
A silly, fun watch, which I was kind of worried about, because I only watched Gremlins for the first time a few years ago, and I didn't really gel with that. Maybe I need to give Gremlins another go. So I was worried if I'm going to feel like I think some of these movies you almost have to have seen as a kid. And if you come to it as an adult, you just don't get it.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
Doesn't work. But this one I thought was fun. I enjoyed Hocus Pocus. And then to close out my week, just today I watched the latest Darren Aronofsky flick, Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz in Caught Stealing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Which is painfully average. It is as middle of the road a film as you will get. Austin Butler, God love him, he was great as Elvis. When I saw Elvis, one of my favorite movies of that year. I thought he was great in it. I've seen him now in two further movies where he's the lead. This and the Bike Riders. I don't know. I don't think he's charismatic enough. I don't think he jumps off the screen. I think he's a little too withdrawn as a lead character, I want to say, or a lead actor. Also, I feel like this film, there's a lot of issues with the screenplay. Things happen and characters, important characters die, and it's like immediately like, oh, anyway, that's happened. What else is going on over here? And so things happen, and there's not a real weight to anything that happens in the film. And so it's very short. It's like an hour 45. I would say 30 minutes in, I had made up my mind that I didn't care about anything that was happening. Which wasn't my intention, and certainly wasn't something I decided going in. But it's like, do you guys see Baby Driver?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Baby Driver with none of the like Edgar Wright edit.
Edgar Wright charm stuff.
It's basically that. So if you were to watch Baby Driver and just have some Colin Trevorrow level director, granted he's Aronofsky, which is why I'm so shocked that it's so mediocre. Aronofsky's someone who whenever you think about his movies, he certainly likes to lean into the extreme themes and extreme tones. But this is, like if you got Colin Trevorrow to direct Baby Driver and just some random person to edit it, that's this movie. So not one I would recommend. I went 2.5, just mediocre.
Okay. Anything for you, Joe?
What else did I watch? Oh, I finally watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original,
the OG
movie. Yeah, from 1982, which I had never seen, but curiously, like when we first got Sky back in the 90s, that movie had just come out, and so I distinctly remember the trailers for it before the Buffy TV show came out. So to me, it's almost like, oh, that's the original Buffy. Like I remember that one, but I'd never seen it. Finally got around to watching it, and it is totally like the most kind of late 80s, early 90s, like high school film. Like a bunch of teenage girls go to the mall, and then Donald Sutherland shows up being a bit creepy. It's a very kind of interesting concept, and you can kind of see how Joss Whedon might have, like, if he had actually just had free reign to do it, maybe could have made it quite interesting. I would say like none of the characters have any kind of staying power or like just any magnetism or engagement at all. It's very glib, just kind of like high school cliches or 80s, 90s stuff. No particularly interesting fight scenes. They don't really do anything interesting with the vampires. It's got quite a interesting cast. Like Hilary Swank kind of plays one of the friends, like just the comedy relief friends. Who else is in it? Luke Perry is in it. Jungle Dad.
It's got a crazy cast. Looking at the
David
cast,
Arquette is in it. Another, speaking of wrestling,
Rutger Hauer, Paul Rubens, Ben Affleck makes an uncredited cameo. Ricky Lake.
Yeah, like it's pretty crazy, but the actual film very forgettable. Yeah, it was okay, but nothing too interesting. Couldn't recommend checking it out. Just watch a TV show.
Okay.
Alrighty. I watched the film this year. This year? It's a film from this year. It's a film from this year. It's the film from this year, not next year. That's like the Stephen King adaptation about a dystopian life or death game that young men play. I'm making a very tenuous connection to that next Edgar Wright film that's coming out. I watched The Long Walk. I watched it for October. I suppose it's a horror.
Yeah, this is horror.
Also, it's kind of like in some ways, it's also kind of a. It's probably, I suppose, it'd probably be too gruesome for people who wouldn't go see a horror. If you build it as a drama, they'd probably be distressed by some stuff.
It's a dystopian psychological thriller.
Yes, yeah. This is a King adaptation. Apparently, I had never heard of The Long Walk before this film. I've read.
I think it's one he wrote under a pseudonym.
Oh, is it? It's funny that he does that. But when it comes time for the movie, I was like, all right, Steve, pal, we're putting your name on the post. Right? It's got to be so. I think this is from the 70s or early 80s, and I think. It's funny because it feels like an incredibly of this moment in time in geopolitics movie. I think it was, I was reading about it after the fact. I guess it was it's like something of like a Vietnam parable from when he originally wrote it. Basically like a not too distant future, American dystopia where sort of dissenting opinions are banned and there's a militarized police force rounding people up and times are tough and no one has any money, and so they have this this annual contest called The Long Walk where 50 boys, a representative from each state, goes on a long walk. They walk at 3 miles per hour until there's only one of them left. If one of them falls behind that speed 3 times, after 3 warnings, they are executed on the spot. And it's some kind of like very tenuous kind of, we're doing this because whoever wins it will inspire the nation as we try and get back to our former glory. So you've got your again, thinking about it as a book from the early 80s or late 70s, you've got your kind of like, our boys going off to war will inspire us to fix our problems back at home, stuff like that. But I took from this, watching it with 2025 eyes, is just kind of like just this really like brutal game of like carrot and stick that the average Joes have to go through, under the incredibly deluded idea that participating in all these kind of shitty rituals will somehow pull them up, and also that it's 50 like young men, and most of them are kind of like agitated and they antisocial and they don't want to talk to each other, and you've got a couple of heels in there that are really explicitly kind of like almost like high school bully characters, and some of them are loners or outcasts, and you've got your central central performances, your protagonists that are not in a negative way, but are kind of almost cliche, so that they are a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more see a little bit more of the humanity in each other. Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson, two fantastic performances. David Johnson in particular is out of this world good in this movie, and the thing that will draw you in and keep you interested in this movie as you go through it is their connection and their two performances and their characters' kind of ability to try and forge something out of this like ridiculous, horrible experience, where people are dropping dead and callously being murdered, and against the backdrop of there's also nothing waiting for any of them after this, because it's just the society as you know it has collapsed, but they, it is interesting to watch now in a modern context, and it kind of has a message of this is how shit everything is. But if there's anything that will get you through it at all, anything that's remotely redeeming about it, it is like human connections and community and things like that. It's great. It's genuinely. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I don't think, other than I Am Legend, I don't think I've seen anything else that Francis Lawrence has directed. I was not a Hunger Games guy, so I haven't watched any of those. But I thought it was fantastic. I thought the ending didn't really hit. You could kind of see it coming a mile away. It wasn't bad, certainly, but I didn't love it. But it was, the whole thing was really fantastic. And I mean, just what a suite of performances from the central cast. I mean, they are just unbelievably great. You got Mark Hamill in there, obviously, and Judy Greer. You got some elder statesmen in there who are really good. But it is a movie that you'll watch and you'll come away talking about like those central young men's performances. New favorite film of the year for me. Overtaking Superman, and what else did I have high on my list? I think it's been a really good year for films, but I think there hasn't been any real tippy top. I haven't had any fivers this year as I peruse my letterbox list here. I look at my favorites, and I've got Long Walk, Superman, Weapons, Naked Gun, Bring Her Back, Sinners. All really great, but waiting to be wowed on that next upper level. But Long Walk, really excellent. You saw it, haven't you, Paul?
Yes. I liked it a lot as well. Felt the same way about the ending. I mean, it's funny if you read up about it. It did change the ending from the book.
Oh, really?
I haven't read the book, but if you read up on the book's ending, it does, weirdly, sound like a more satisfying ending than the one you get in the film. But
interesting.
Look at David Johnson. My boy David Johnson. What a performance.
Yeah.
What a step up from get away from you, bitch, to this.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. More of him and stuff, please.
I think we'll be seeing a lot more. If this was a decent little success, I feel like in about a year's time, this man will be in a lot of things.
Be in MCU stuff.
Oh, good. He can be the Flumpster in Phase 17. Plus series. What about telly? I haven't seen any telly this week. I actually didn't get around to the most recent Chair Company, so I'm behind on that.
Yes. I thought it was very good, and I didn't enjoy it as much as episodes 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved 1 and 2. Episode 3 was more of a 7 out of 10 kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still very good, but nothing knocking me dead either in the comedy or the mystery stakes. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Where 1 and 2 were like excellent. Especially 1. Oh my god, I still talk about the wheelbarrow guy to people. My wheelbarrow. Don't tell anybody. So I thought it was very good. I'm still excited, really excited for number 4. I'm hoping it's kind of back up to where it was. But Tim Robinson is a funny guy. 2 things just from me, aside from Chair Company this week. Beavis and Butthead, very, very funny again. I have come to the epiphany this week that I think I prefer. I have to phrase this in a way that's not going to confuse them. So in the last couple of new seasons, they've introduced. They do Beavis and Butthead as kids, and then some of the skits are old Beavis and Butthead as them as adults. I come to the epiphany that I prefer the adult skits now to them as kids.
Okay.
I just think they're funnier, like adults who they act the same and they talk the same, but something about their scenarios are a bit funnier. I think because I've seen so much of them as kids, they kind of go out and do other stuff. So that was very good. Thank you, Joe. A lot of scraping coming from Joe's audio there.
Sorry, making a table over there. Sorry.
Bit of sanding going on. So that was very good. And then Taskmaster, again, like Chair Company, I thought it was the worst episode of the season.
No good tasks, really.
It felt like a collection of deleted scenes. Like they were like, okay, these are the ones that we did that didn't quite work. Pull them all into one episode, get it out there. That'll hold the little SOBs. No good tasks that even conceptually seemed a little like they weren't gonna work, and then they didn't work, and then that they weren't very funny, and there's nothing really memorable from the episode. It felt like, you watch a compilation of deleted stuff from one of your favorite shows, and you go, I see why that was deleted. Nice to have it, a little bit of extra content, but I see why that was deleted. But it was an actual episode. So otherwise, I think this season has been very strong. But this one I thought was a clunker. So that's it for me, Joe. What else have you been watching?
Finally, we have finished after several months the sitcom My Wife and Kids.
Haha.
So if you don't know, this is an early 2000s sitcom starring one of the Wayans brothers, Damon Wayans, one of the older ones, not the 2 scary movie guys. So it's about a kind of upper middle class black family in, I believe it's in Stamford. I wonder if they live next door to Vince and Linda. But yeah, it's set in Connecticut. And it's a classic kind of sitcom. It's the usual thing. The kids want to do something, the dad doesn't. There's and I think the first couple of seasons are very funny, and there's enough kind of charm between the kids and the 2 adults and a few supporting characters. But it very quickly exhausts that. And by season 3, I think it starts to get a bit desperate. They introduce a few supporting characters that clearly were popular, so they then absolutely run them into the ground. So there's like a little precocious kid called Franklin, who's a kind of like child genius, kind of a smart guy. Do you remember that show from?
He's a smart guy.
Maybe that was even around the same time. I'm not sure. That was very much in that vein. So he kind of is like the sort of love interest of like the youngest child. He's like 7 or 8, and he's supposed to be like, the kid who has a crush on the other one. And then he starts appearing in every single episode, even when they go on
like the oracle of this series.
Even when they go on holiday, like he goes with them, and it makes like you never see his parents or anything. It's just suddenly they have this kid in every single episode. And that's what happens with a few other characters. They just crowbar them in. So yeah, to be honest, it took us a long time to get through the last 2 seasons. And this is old school, where it's like 26 episodes, 6 seasons.
Yes.
Like, you're not rushing through these in a few hours. This is like
that's pretty
long haul. And it ends. We didn't realize that it must have been cancelled. I couldn't find this on Wikipedia, but it ends on a cliffhanger where the mum is pregnant. And that's it. That's like the very last moment of the show is, Michael, I'm pregnant. That's it. Never hear anything about it again. So yeah, kind of glad we finished that, to be honest. We haven't decided on a follow-up. We're looking at Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yes, just time for that reboot they're doing, or whatever return. They're doing like a 4-episode mini series.
Yeah, we're looking at My Name Is Earl.
Oh yeah, I've wanted to revisit My Name Is Earl. Actually, yeah,
I enjoyed that one. It was on. I never finished it.
Have you seen Malcolm in the Middle, Joe?
Yeah. Well, not exhaustively, but I saw like when it was on. I used to watch a lot of it, but would be keen to kind of see it end to end.
Oh yeah,
I've not watched a lot of it.
You would definitely like it, Paul. Joe, I think one of the best decisions I ever made was rewatching it. The wife had never seen it. I think it was a COVID era thing. It was on like they added it to Disney when they bought Fox or whatever. I was like, I used to watch this all the time. I think we've watched it like maybe 3 times or at least twice through. Wow. It is a great. It also the late. I remember the late seasons falling off prior to it getting cancelled, and I suppose they do it, but not really that bad at all. It's a very consistent show. First 2 or 3 seasons are up there with some of the best sitcoms ever. I mean, it is really, really super, and like Cranston is spectacular in that show. One of the best sitcom performances ever. I mean, he really can do it all. He is absolutely hysterical in the show. I would recommend that. I'm arm's length with any of this return shit. I'm curious about that little return series.
I saw the Scrubs one has already run into some problems where the showrunner has left. Replaced already.
I mean, that is a show that I mean, obviously you love it, Paul, and you've revisited, you've talked about it a lot on the show. I have a fondness for it too. Something about, I can't articulate it quite well. Something about it just feels like a show that it was firmly in its era, and something about it doesn't feel like it's gonna, even if they nailed it, which I don't think they're going to. I just feel like I don't think the world really needs Scrubs. We're just in this era where it's just like this stuff should be fun, right? It should be exciting. You hear a thing you like is coming back. But now that's just everything. So none of it's exciting me. Oh, Scrubs. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, they've revived Futurama for the 100th time. Yes. Malcolm in the Middle is coming back. This is coming back. It's like it's just what are next?
What are next? The one that nailed it was X-Men 97. To be fair.
Yes. Yeah.
But yes, you're right to be concerned. I'm just looking at My Wife and Kids here. Funnily enough, there's an actress in it, one of the young girls whose name is Parker Posey. I was like, what?
Oh, what? That's funny.
Parker Posey is in that show.
Yeah.
It's actually a different Parker
Posey. I'm seeing double here. 4.
It has on a Wikipedia page, not to be confused.
Not to be confused, yeah. Are you looking to visit Parker Posey disambiguation? How do you pronounce that word? The Wikipedia?
Disambiguation.
Disambiguation. That's the only website I've ever seen use that as Wikipedia. Yeah. I don't have any telly this week. No Smiling Friends this week for some reason. What are they? Freaking South Park. Get an episode.
I haven't watched any South Park.
When it was after switching to the 2-week schedule, it was also late this week. I heard on Friday, I think, instead of Thursday. Fucking hell, boys. What is going on? I didn't realize it was that hard.
Take old Yeller out back, I think.
Just look, the president has a little willy. And
we get it.
What has your child looked at on TikTok this week? That's how you make these episodes.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was that hard.
Speaking of, there was one bit on Collision I have to make reference to. The first ever funny 6-7 I've ever seen in my whole life since it began.
Oh, really? On the Collision?
On the Collision.
What was it?
Mansoor was doing the 10 punch in the corner.
And that's pretty good.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that made me laugh. I was like, it can be done.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah.
So no telly for me this week. Played a couple of games though. The Simpsons are in Fortnite now, so all the 30-year-olds have to log on to Fortnite again.
They'll never get me.
No, they will.
Never
They should get you. You can
No.
go to Mr. Burns' mansion, and if you go
know.
behind his desk and press a button, the hounds come and they assist you. Okay, it's good.
I know. I get it. I get the Fortnite is good. I'm not going to try and argue the Fortnite.
I wouldn't even argue
not
it's good necessarily, but I'm
not going to argue against. I understand the relevance of it and all that, but it's like, to me, it's like the brain rot game.
It absolutely is. The best description I've ever seen about it. It is just Happy Meal the game. Because what they've done is, because usually what they do is like you've got this big map, right? And literally it's all based on deals. So it's kind of like you've got this map and it's got a bunch of like original characters on it in Fortnite lore. But over on the northwest corner, it's the Rebel Alliance base, because they're also doing a Star Wars promotion. So it's like, you want to land in, I don't know any of the Fortnite characters, Silly Town, or do you want to land in the Rebel Alliance base and you can talk to Han Solo and he'll give you a shield. Like, that is what the game is like. But so for this Simpsons thing, it's all Springfield. They've completely like just done a little Springfield map.
Yeah.
It is really cool, but of course it is still Fortnite. So I'm like dropping into like Moe's Tavern as Lara Croft with like Evanescence Bring Me to Life playing, because that's the song I have in the game that plays while I parachute onto the map. It's so fucking stupid. But it is fun. It is fun in its stupidity. And you can tell there is some, they've got all their nods and winks in there for the life. The funny thing is, whenever you see something like this, it's kind of like, it really isn't just us grumpy 30-somethings who say this. Like, all the references in it are from the 90s, at least, or the early 2000s at the absolute latest. It's all Blinky, the three-eyed fish. There's arcade machines in some of them, and they're all the ones from like the 90s bit. It's Larry the Looter, and every reference is from like that far back. It's so funny. In another online multiplayer thing, I'm playing Arc Raiders, which is kind of the of the moment multiplayer thing. This is an extraction shooter, which basically means it's one of those things where you drop on a map, you've got AI enemies you can fight, and there are other humans. And a big deal breaker for this, I will say, I like this game quite a lot, but if this is a deal breaker for you, I get it. Big thing about this game is it uses proximity chat. So you want to have your mic on and you want to be able to talk to people, because basically you're scavenging for resources, trying to duck and dodge the robots. And when you come up against another person, they might shoot you on sight, or you can go on the mic and say, yo, let's help me out here, or I need this, or are you friendly? And that might sound like, if you've had any experience playing video games online, you might think that sounds like hell. I don't want to get called a slur and shot on sight. I have found the experience to be okay thus far, and surprisingly interesting, because you can form these little informal alliances. But the funny thing is, you're not officially on a team. So the way the game works is you drop in, you loot, you maybe hide from the enemies, or you fight them depending on how you're feeling. You're basically scavenging like a little scavenger, and then you have to extract. And the lore of the game is like humanity is like underground. The surface of the planet is overtaken by these robots. So you get in, and then you have to go to like a big elevator and extract. And so what can happen is you can get on your microphone if you see a guy in the distance, say, yo, buddy, do you want to team up? And you'll go, yeah, and you go loot together, you'll take out some robots. And he can pop you at any moment as you're getting ready to extract there. And that's kind of the meta of it. And I've had people work well. I've had people not work well. I've had people be as uncharitable as humanly possible to me. And that kind of keeps it interesting, because then every single game I drop into, I'm like, if I yell into my microphone, it's 50-50. He turns around and just shoots me. Should I just be a prick and just shoot him now? Not bother my arse just talking to him? That's the hook. And games like this have been around forever, but this one very much seems like they're quite punishing. And I think this one is aiming to get people who don't want that level of punishing experience in. It's 30-minute rounds, so you can only win and lose so much in that time. It is a game where you gather all you wipe around in trash, and you get all your screws and wires. You go back to your base, and you use them then to make better weapons. But the hook of the game is that if you take a fancy weapon back onto the surface and another guy pops you, that's gone. That gun is gone. Anything you bring with you is lost if you die up there. So that's the game. I think it's really cool. It's going to live and die by its community. If it turns into a thing where all the human players just start sniping each other from across the map, instantly, no communication. Then it's any other. Then I could just play Fortnite and I can do it outside Moe's. You know, this game is going to live on people engage, and thus far they seem to be engaging with the ideas, which I think is cool. That's Arc Raiders. It's 40 quid. So it's
not free to play.
It's not free to play. That's kind of my one gripe in it. It has a million purchasable cosmetic things. Cosmetic customization is not completely locked out, but I look at that menu and there's a lot of little icons. It's cost. But yeah, I appreciate that the game's not 80 quid, but it is also not free. And I don't like, that is a bugbear of mine in modern games. I've spent money on Fortnite, because I'm like, well, it's free. So when I want to buy a skin that has stupid sexy fenders and he does the emote, he shakes the ass, I'm like, well, that is money well spent because the game costs me nothing.
Money well spent.
But when it's like a game costs, I hate games in that mid period where it's like, well, it's only 40. It's like, okay, but that's still 40. I would like to not have menu icons popping up the whole time saying, oh, you could buy this, you could buy the deluxe version of the game. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I think you should be one or the other. I think it's very tough to try and do both. But yeah, there's thumbs up on the actual game so far.
Okay.
Now, Paul, I believe you wrapped up Death Stranding 2.
I did. It took a very long time.
That was a big one. What was your hour count by the end?
30, just over 30.
Really? Okay, that's
short, really long.
No, I do you have a lot of like optional side stuff you still could go back and do, or?
Yeah, but I've no intention to go back.
All right, okay.
Because for me, look, I like the loop of Death Stranding well enough, but I'm playing those Kojima games for the wacky cutscenes and the fucking craziness. One thing this game does differently than the first game as well is it gives you like a truck quite early on, and then you're like, right, I'm never walking again. So it does make the game a little bit quicker to play, but also does take away that loop of kind of walking up a mountain and just driving everywhere. So the game does become kind of, if you were turned off by the loop of Death Stranding 1, this is certainly more accessible, and there's far less of that. But it also meant that I was less inclined to spend hours upon hours doing all the various little side quests and all that. So I made the decision early on, okay, I was playing that game very slowly anyway. So I said, okay, if there's a what's called a sub order, like a side quest, if I'm not too busy or I'm just playing for the sake of playing, I'll do a side quest here and there. But I wasn't going to comprehensively check that I've done every one and fast travel to the other side of the map to do a 10-minute quest that has really no impact on anything. So I just kind of mainlined it for the most part. And like I say, only 30 hours. I know people who were playing for the platinum were northwards of like 100 or something.
Yes, yeah.
So I was very early, and I know people who have the platinum and said that it was an absolute nightmare and not worth doing. So I said, okay, I just want to see the story. I love the story of the first one. I said here a few weeks ago that I preferred the story of the first one to the second one. That being said, the last like 2-3 hours of this game were pretty spectacular as far as that goes.
Okay.
Some twists I kind of saw coming, and then some that they know you see it coming, so they throw a little extra twist in the bottom that you didn't quite anticipate. So I'm not in a cheap way, but in a way that was super satisfying. So really, really top stuff. Maybe we'll get a Death Stranding 3 someday, but
he's got like 4 other games he's making, so he needs to finish some of them.
But I thought this one was a banger. Everything that I want out of it. Maybe some people would play Kojima games for the, Metal Gear Solid 5 infiltration stuff or whatever. But I'm all about that Stranding for the story. Yeah, I want to see the next cutscene. Some of the cutscenes are quite long, but I want to see the next cutscene. I want to see the creativity that you only get from Kojima's games. And there was stuff in this game's ending that was out of this world. Funny, creative, thrilling, fucking unpredictable, unforeseen. Great payoff to the story. So like I say, it's definitely one that kind of builds, and then does climax at the end, which is what you wanted to do. So big thumbs up on it. Like I say, I think the gameplay itself is the reason why there's a lot more positive critical scores for this game than compared to the first one. I think it's kind of, so long since the first one came out, I've maybe forgotten a little bit some of the idiosyncrasies of the first game, and maybe if I was to go back and play the first one, it would be more annoying and it would be more difficult to get to grips with. But this one, with the quality of life improvements, does make the game far more accessible. And so, for anyone who's interested, you can blitz through the main story in 30 hours. That's including all the cutscenes. So it's not a 50, 60 hour killer unless you're inclined to go.
Unless you really want it to be.
Unless you really want it to be. But for me, 30 hours was enough. And I come away not kind of resenting the game for dragging on or making me do quests that just kind of feel like I'm checking boxes and not, getting much out of the game. No, I think 30 hours is more or less the perfect time to spend with this game. And I got everything I wanted out of it in a story sense. So big thumbs up on that.
All right.
And that meant that now we can move on to the next. We've got an artwork here. Hang on.
Discord still has Halloween music. Oh, there's so much going on here. Oh my God, it's a collage. It really is a collage. I don't even remember what the scratch card cover. Oh yeah, the camera. The puppy. Oh, very good. Very, very
Young
good.
puppy.
And a good name as well. A classic name there.
That's a good name.
Anyway, Paul, you've more self-control than me. You play one game at a time. Where
I do. It's not even self-control. So if I didn't play one at a time, I would not play any. I'd not beat any of them.
Yeah.
So one at a time. Then I beat one, move on to the next one, beat that. Donkey Kong Bananza. From the team that made a little game called Mario Odyssey. It does say banana a lot.
A lot. You get to hear that a lot, which is good.
Ooh, banana. So from the team that brought you Mario Odyssey, a little game we all enjoyed. Here comes Donkey Kong Bananza on the Nintendo Switch 2. And it's great. I mean, I'm on the third proper level, because it does open with like a
tutorial area,
tutorial area that's super linear, and it's not really a level, let's be honest. Then you get 3 levels. First one is this big, I forget what it's called, a big lavish kind of green and water level. Then you have a second, much smaller level that's only one layer, and then another big one, canyon layer, which I'm on currently. When I started playing the first real level, I did get a sense of being overwhelmed with the pure size.
Yeah.
I think Odyssey does such a great job of opening with Cap Kingdom, which isn't a huge level, but is there enough for you to explore and dig around and get to grips with the game? It's as if Mario Odyssey opened with like Sand Kingdom.
Yeah.
That was enormous. Donkey Kong Bonanza throws you in the deep end with a huge level. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know where to go. I'm losing track of where I'm going. I'm losing track. But, after a couple of hours, I felt like I got to grips with the geography of everything. So that was really only the immediate reaction. And since then, even on the level I'm at now, I think I have a better grip of the way that the game works in terms of how its levels are distributed, how each level has different layers to it. Because, it's a lot of the Donkey Kong gameplay is destruction of the environment. So you can punch through walls and you can punch down through the ground, and there'll be like secret rooms underground. You punch down from the ceiling, you fall into a secret room. There's a banana there. And the bananas are obviously the equivalent of the power moons from Odyssey. And they look like moons. They're the same crescent shape. So there's a lot of carryover from that game. So, there's a lot that feels very similar to Odyssey. So you're collecting a lot of those units, now bananas. You fight a boss. You get the 3 bananas where you previously got 3 moons. You do have skill points in this, which work differently to Odyssey, of course.
Yeah.
So with Odyssey, the progression from level to level was all about getting a certain amount of moons to power the Odyssey to then go to the next level. Here is not about that really. There's a set goal that you progress through the level. You have these little markers that say, hey, now you have to go here, now you have to go here, and you're following the story through the level, and then there'll be a boss at the end and you'll beat the boss. You could theoretically, I guess, beat a level without collecting any of the bananas. But rather the bananas go to your skill points and you can cash those in for improved abilities. So you have this slap the ground or clap your hands thing that gives like a sonar, radar kind of thing that, oh, there's a banana underground here. Otherwise you'll just be spending your time digging aimlessly. So you know there's a banana there. Okay, I'll go dig under there. And you can increase the range of your sonar. So now you'll clap and you'll see further away. Oh, there's something over there. Yeah. Also, you have the shop where you can buy maps to those last bananas or those last fossils you just couldn't quite find on your normal playthrough. So it doesn't feel like necessarily, again, as with Odyssey, if you were missing one banana or moon, sometimes you really had no option other than to go look up online how to get it. Or I know there was the parrot who would give you like, that moon is called this.
Yeah.
Indecipherable clue.
Yeah. I was like, I was talking to that fucking bird. I was like, am I fucking stupid? I don't know what the fucking thing is telling me.
So here you can go and buy a map, and the map will literally show you on hey, that banana is here.
Yeah.
You just literally go and get it. So I think that it in terms of collecting, I think it's a lot easier in that sense. There's again, roughly, I would say the same number of bananas as there are power moons in Mario. You do also have the fossils, which are the equivalent, I guess, of Mario's purple coins.
Yeah.
And for clothes, which works exactly the same way in this. You trade it in for clothes, but the clothes also have some sort of ability.
Some mild buffs.
Mild buffs.
The RPG stuff in this game is super. We want this game to be playable by children. So the skill tree and the buffs on the clothes are
you can
not as age
20% faster.
Yeah.
Can I? Okay.
Yes.
So that's the long and short. But yeah, so far so good. I'm very much enjoying. Especially the third level, I felt like I was getting a banana every 15 seconds.
Yes.
Oh, banana. Oh, banana. Oh, banana. Just over and over. The music is also very good, but then you have the thing where Donkey Kong has this like super mode where you go into banana mode. It becomes like a bigger, crazy mode. And the music for that is very good, but I'm already getting a little bit sick of hearing it every couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It gets very repetitive.
It's like, imagine if Jump Up Superstar played every time you got like a certain power up in it's a fucking great song.
Use the cap.
Yeah, it's great. Like the Donkey Kong song is great, but yeah, it is kind of weird that you hear it every single time.
Yeah.
Music is great.
Music is great.
I like
the level design a lot. Controls very well. I did take a second to get used to the like punch down, punch up, jump button being a different button than it was in Odyssey.
Yeah, it's a weird set. Now it makes sense logically why B is punch down and X is punch up. I get that control oriented. Took a while to get used to that for sure. I
feel like it's very difficult to dig up as well.
It is. Yeah.
For no reason I could tell, because you can dig punch forward and you can dig down very easily, but sometimes you're digging and you think, oh, there's a fossil pretty much right above me, and you think, okay, let me X should propel you upwards, but it really doesn't. You kind of have to jump onto the wall kind of, and then it's very difficult. So sometimes if you're in that situation, you just have to go out and then come down from above again. But no, I like all the little challenge levels, and yeah, so far so good. Again, I'm still very early in. I've probably only played it for, I don't know, 5 hours or so, but it's very good so far. Very good. Don't really have any quibbles.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm still fairly early in that myself. I think I might try and get back to it soon. Finish up some. I'm more than halfway through Silent Hill F. I'm pretty sure I want to wrap that up soon, get the Halloween stuff done and dusted. Yeah, That's the video games of the week, and I think that's going to do it for the show, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for listening. ChairShotPodcast.com is where you can go to pop us an email. It's also where you can go to check out the Fantasy League in real time. Paul maintains that, does a great job. We'd love to hear from you. Pop us an email there over in the old email form. So, until next week, it is going to be goodbye from me. It's going to be goodbye from Joe.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye from Paul.
Goodbye.